I kind of had a dilemma where I lost my GoPro, so kind of can't use it. So I can't make surf vlogs anymore, but I can still make other content like just towards surf photography. You will know that I use a Sony a6000, which I'm using to film this video right now, and a salted line housing that fits the Sony a6000, and I use a GoPro on top of that to film my surf videos. But recently I switched over back to Canon and to an aquatech housing setup. I prefer the Canon colors more than Sony, and the way the camera feels and looks, the way the picture looks as well. So I'll be showing you what I use for my new surf photography setup. So first up, the new camera that I've got is a Canon 7D Mark II. At the moment I only have a 24mm 2.8 lens, and I normally just use f4. This camera is really good for surf photography, not only because of the 10 frames per second, and because of how good the camera autofocuses on the wave. On this camera, I'm not sure if other Canon cameras have it, but there's a thing called case thingos. I'm not sure what they're called, but they're for autofocus, and you can choose if you want the autofocus to track a subject, or if you want if a new subject comes into frame, it will focus on that. You can change the settings in between that. And this camera does really good with autofocusing. I'll put some images up now of some photos that I've got recently. And I've only had this camera for maybe a month or so, and I've got some crazy images already. Yeah, so that's basically the camera. Hopefully I'll be able to get a 10 to 18 lens so I can shoot some wide angle stuff in the water, underwater and stuff like that when winter comes, so the water will be clearer then, so I can get some behind the barrel photos. And yeah, that's the camera. This is the aquatech Elite Housing 7D Mark II. It comes I got all of this together for around 2,000 bucks, second hand. The housing comes with a P80 flat port, and it's just the regular Elite housing from aquatech. It's got all the back buttons on here as well, you can see. It's got all the menu options, the dial on the back as well, and it has the Q menu. You can use the little toggle thing from the back of the camera as well, that's on here, but you can only go right, so you have to make sure you line everything up properly before you go in the water. You can choose your video and live view mode on here. You can do back button focusing here, which I don't use often. I normally just use the top button to focus. But yeah, this is, compared to my other housing for the A6, I prefer this one way more. It is a bit heavier, but I prefer it because it's easy to hold in the water, and even though it does float in the water, it's still pretty heavy. But still, if you're doing slow shutter stuff, this helps the housing being more heavy because it's more steady. I did have to get used to the placement of the shutter button because the housing is more thicker, so you have to reach around with your middle finger instead of your pointer finger that you usually do on the other housing. Overall, this is a great housing. I would recommend using aquatech for your Canon, Nikon, Fuji, Panasonic cameras. If you have a Sony, you probably want to go for the cheaper option and go for this halter line, which is really good too. As well as the gear that I use, I do have some other accessories that help me in the water. So first of all, I've got a cloth to wipe up any dust or just like sand off the O-ring of the housing or on the lens. I've got goggles. These help me for when the water is really clear and I can see on the water, so I use this when the water's clear. And then I have this box, and in the box I have sunscreen, which you definitely need in Australia because you're gonna burn like crazy. I got wax, if in case I want to just surf instead of to shoot. And then I got zinc as well, you can use for the sunscreen. And then I got candle wax with a microfiber cloth. So what the candle wax is for, when you're shooting with a flat port, when you lift the housing above the water droplets can stay on it and it doesn't shed off completely. So what you do is you put candle wax on here and you just go 4 stripes down and across, and then you wipe it with the microfiber cloth off like this. And for around maybe 40 minutes the water should shed off. In the first 10 minutes it might take a while for the water to shed off, but in the 20 to 40 minute spot the water will shed off easily, and after that the wax falls off and the water stays onto it pretty quick, so you have to be really quick to take photos. I got that method from Dylan Brayshaw. Some of you guys have been commenting saying that I copy a lot of his work, and the reason you guys say that is because he is the only person that does surf photography videos. I can't find anyone else that does like the style that he does, like vlogs in the water and stuff. So I like watching his videos. So I wanted to do that myself with my own camera and surf photography equipment. But it's really hard to make it your own style because he's the only person doing it, and it's really hard to like choose what you want to do in the water because it's so action, like there's so much action going on that you can't really tell what's going to happen. So I do try to change some stuff, but it's kind of hard with like the style, as I already said. But from now on I'll try to change the style, and if you do like what I do, go to his channel. He does it way better than I do for sure, 100%. He uses a Canon 5D Mark III with most of the time a 24 to 105 f4 and an aquatech housing, but it's the older model with a pistol grip. I'll leave a link to his channel up here and go watch his stuff. He does some amazing content. Also, if you guys are interested in getting into surf photography, I'm currently selling my old system, which is the Salterline A6 housing. It goes with a Sony A6000, A63, A64 and A65 cameras. I'm selling it with the 6-inch dome and the standard flat port that comes with it, all for around $900. If you guys want it separately, I can do that too. I'm also selling the Sony A6000, which I'm using to film this video on, with the standard kit lens 16-50 for $600 with the camera bag. And I'm selling my Samyang 8mm 3.5 fisheye for $280, and my Sony 28-70 f 3.5 to 5.6 for the same price, $280. If you guys want to know any more details about that, I'll put a link to my email down below in the description. Please contact me. It's a really good system. I do recommend it. It's really good to get into surf photography. If you want to get into surf photography, I recommend buying this system. It's really easy to use and it's super easy to get into. I've had no problems. I've only had one leak, but that was entirely my fault because I had sand in the O-ring. Yeah, this whole system works exactly like the aquatech system. The ports are interchangeable. You can change into this port if you want to. You can change lenses and everything. It's all the same as that, except cheaper. So if you guys want to get into surf photography, I recommend doing this. Go to the link in the description and email me for more details. But that's practically it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe for more surf photography content. And hopefully I'll be able to bring you some stuff from in the water with this camera and the housing. So thank you guys for watching and see ya.